Welcome to Nerdschatting, movie, TV, comic chat. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome, everybody, to the Nerdschatting podcast. My name is Nathan, and with me, as ever, is my very good friend, Ben. Hello, Ben. You're not dead anymore.
Hello, Nathan. You say as ever, but I wasn't here last week.
Yeah,
I was replaced by Bobby Diamonds.
Yeah.
What a bloody good job he did as well.
Yeah. More handsome, more charming, more funny.
Less Doctor Who knowledge.
Yeah.
I want to say, thank you so much for trying with Doctor Who last week.
We did.
You really tried.
And is your penis better?
My penis is much fine. Much. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Anyway, for those new people joining us, thank you so much, and apologies for that opening. But yeah, I'm Nate, and this is Ben, and we talk about all the nerdy stuff that's TV shows and movies. And you do your zip up. That'll catch that on the audio.
Will it? Hang on, let me
yeah,
check.
It's already done it. Like, that's twice. Oh my god, yeah, you're gonna break that zip. So
break your zip.
Oh my god. January is here, and Star Trek Discovery is back for its part 2 of season 1. We're going to be talking about that first episode because it was a belter, wasn't it?
It was pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good.
But before we get to that, should we do some broken news?
I think that's the way we do things around here, right?
Broken news.
So this is broken news. It's not breaking. It's so old it's already broken. Is there an echo in here? I think there's an echo in here.
Probably. We'll fix it in post.
I won't.
We'll never fix it in post.
So the first thing, there was... Now, this. I feel like...
Broken news is news that's so old it's not
Yeah,
breaking, it's broken.
I said that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I've said it again, just to clarify, and just in case no one knew. Okay, good.
I hate you. So I feel like I've said this piece of news like a billion times, but there was a Krypton trailer.
There was a Krypton trailer.
So there was a trailer for the pilot
Sure.
before it had been greenlit as a show.
Yes.
And that got leaked, and it was great.
It was okay.
So it was a trailer for a pilot, and then there was a teaser for the show, which was the zooming out from Krypton before it blew up and stuff.
Yes.
And now there's a proper trailer for the show,
Yes.
and it looks great.
I had a fair bit of hope after watching this trailer. Now, don't get me wrong.
I see what you've done there.
Thank you. I didn't even intend to do
Yeah.
that. Don't get me wrong. Trailers are designed to make you want to watch the end product, the movie, the TV show, the what have you.
Yeah.
So I know it's giving me good action beats and story threads that I'm like, oh, I need to know more.
I'm nodding.
At the same time, could be a real shit show. But
See,
this trailer, bloody good.
There are two things about this. So context: this show is Krypton. It's set. The time period is when Superman's grandfather is a young man. He's like 20-something.
Sure.
So his name is Seg-El or Sieg-El. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Hashtag pause for cough. I'm sorry, I've been very ill.
There's no point in you turning off your microphone because my microphone is only like a foot away from yours.
Yeah, I know,
so it would have
but
picked it up.
anything to
anyway,
save the
so
listeners' ears.
Krypton. So it's Seg-El. I've pronounced that wrong, as opposed to Jor-El or Kal-El.
Sure.
So it's Jor-El's father as a young man.
Yeah.
And the premise is that the House of El, that Superman is the grandson of, are disgraced, turned out by the council, and it's about them reforming their former glory of being not on the High Council of Krypton, but a well-respected family.
It's got a Game of Thronesy feel.
It has. They're playing into that. They're playing into the sci-fi-ness that's going on in the world at the minute. Star Wars is out, and therefore everything has to be sci-fi.
It's in the zeitgeist.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The trouble is, it's got a bit of Gotham about it. Now, some people love Gotham.
I have never watched Gotham.
Some of Gotham is very good. I think the problem with Gotham is that its premise was, this is the origin of Batman. But then all the supervillains have appeared while he's like a 12-year-old boy.
Which isn't really what happens.
But what Gotham is really is an Elseworlds, this is a different version, this is that version of it. And that's cool. However, this Krypton is using the aesthetic from the movies, because it's got the Superman, the House of El insignia, and there is some tying into...
the House of El insignia is just the Superman.
No, but it's the movie one. It's the sweepy
the
hope
sweepy
one.
It's like a river.
Yeah. And
It's not an S.
Yeah. But do you know that there's a time travel element to it? Did you
Yes,
notice?
I noticed this time traveler chap showed up.
What's
He
his
seems
name?
to be
it's
from
not Rip Hunter, is it? It's
It's some other guy. Now that whilst that's intriguing, I'm also a little bit worried about that because if he's giving away information to Jor-El's father, Kal-El, Superman's grandfather, he is interfering with the time stream.
Is he?
Yes.
Is he?
Yes.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
he really
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Now I know, as many Doctor Who fans will attest to, and as I've said before, time can be rewritten. However,
It's not quite. Do you know what? I'm looking at the S now. It's not quite. It's not quite the
It's
DCEU
almost, but it's
one.
not
It's
quite,
very
yeah.
similar. Yeah. Go
so
on.
my question is, why is this guy going back to pass this information along?
It's Adam Strange. Apologies, Adam Strange.
Who's Adam Strange?
So Adam Strange is in the DC comics. He's is a human that is like he's a little bit like Peter Quill from Guardians of the Galaxy. He's
Right.
like a space warrior type guy.
Space warrior type guy.
Yeah.
That's the
technical
greatest
term.
description of Peter Quill I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's nice that they've got things like Brainiac is in there, so that's good because some versions of Brainiac is the AI of Krypton. I
Yeah.
think that's probably what they're going to be doing here.
That's good.
I like that version of it.
But this guy going back and
Zod's
passing information.
grandmother, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
This guy going back and passing information to
Segel.
Segel. Why is he doing that? Is he doing that because
Who knows?
In this Elseworld story, Superman didn't go back?
Maybe
and
we
something
need to,
bad happened.
Maybe we need to watch it and find out. Maybe
But if
high-pitched voice.
if they're saying that Superman always came to Earth because what's he called, Adam Strange?
Yes.
Adam Strange always came back and said that he had to. That in itself creates a bootstrap paradox, which in time travel is
Don't try to think about it too much.
I'm going over it.
Yeah.
I've gone into it. I've gone deep.
No.
Oh, okay. Hey, listen, this trailer looked great. I'm going to
It
watch
looked
it.
great. It looked good fun. It looked like they've put some money into the sets and designs and stuff. I think it looked really, really cool.
Yeah, let's watch it.
I'm up for it. I'm so up for it.
Time travel, bootstrap paradox.
Well, but it's not just that. It's also got that family intrigue, Game of Thronesy, housey type thing about it.
Our house is not powerful. We need
And-
to be powerful.
And it's Superman.
It is, yeah.
So-
do you think it'll end with
No,
the
no.
Superman from what's it called from Supergirl, sort of
Oh, I
going,
hope not.
hey,
No.
like closing a book, going, so that's how my family became
No,
cool
I hope not.
again.
I hope not.
Okay, fine.
I hope they recast.
Well, do you not like that guy?
He's okay. He's got a bit of a funny face.
He's also got a very pronounced, firm bottom.
Jesus.
He does. He works out, man. He what is it? He does lunges.
Dips? No.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing that we don't know.
Squats.
Squats. That's the word.
I don't do squats at the gym.
Okay, sure you don't.
Next bit of news. There were protesters outside.
Oh
Warner Brothers
my god,
headquarters.
this is huge news.
This is the biggest thing ever.
This is the biggest
So,
news.
There were some protesters outside the Warner Brothers office protesting the DVD release of Justice League.
Now, this was a huge thing on the internet.
It was
a
massive.
huge
Social media,
movement.
thousands and thousands and thousands of people signed up to it
I signed this petition.
to release the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Hashtag release the Snyder Cut.
And there was it gained so much traction after Kevin Smith on his Fat Man and Batman podcast, YouTube channel, whatever you call it,
Yeah.
read through a list of all the stuff that had been cut out of the
Yeah.
Snyder version. Everyone was clamoring for
massive.
that.
There was a protest outside Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
13 people showed up.
How disappointing.
I mean, people have got to travel, so that's an issue. But
Of course, I didn't even know about it. I just signed the petition. I didn't know there was a a thing. It's disappointing.
have you seen the picture?
I have, yeah.
There's
It's a
loads of
couple
people.
of guys in cosplay.
There's loads of people in
and-
cosplay. There's some really good cosplay in there. Some really
Yeah.
interesting. And there's just this one guy on the side who's like, "Do I have to be here?" It would even.
He's not quite close enough
It would
to
surprise me
yeah.
if he was even part of it. If they were like, "Dude, come into the picture," he's just walking past.
13 is better than 12.
Yeah. It's what to say about that? Apparently there isn't a Snyder Cut. I can believe there isn't a Snyder Cut.
There was never a Snyder Cut assembled. There was an assembly cut, wasn't there? or whatever
Let's
it's
get
called.
over this movie.
Yeah.
It's happened.
It wasn't great.
It was fun, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, they should have given themselves more time. It's
Yeah.
never going to happen. We might see some footage of some other stuff, maybe as like really rough DVD extras or something like that on like the Steelbook or something. But we're never going to see a Snyder Cut of this film. Not unless Not an S. Oh my Lord! As I live and breathe,
There's a man outside
there's a
the
man
door.
at the door. Shall I go and let him in?
Yeah, let him in, yeah,
I'm going to
yeah,
go and let him in.
yeah.
I'm going to keep talking as I let him in.
He won't be able to talk because he's stuffing his face with
He
things.
is. Look
He's
at
got
this,
like a
look at this
panini.
guy.
There's a panini in his face. I'm just going to stay here.
12 o'clock.
We started without him. Oh no. Right.
Hello, Bobby Diamond.
There's going to be a weird audio shift now where I turn this microphone on the recording. Do you want to put up a chair?
I will.
Oh,
I'll
look,
put
move that
one.
chair. Move that there.
I'm only here for a bit.
Yeah, it's Robbie Diamonds, everybody.
He's here.
Hello.
He's here for a good time, but not a long time.
That's it, yeah.
Oh, my.
That's exactly it.
That's exactly
That's
it.
how it works with us.
hang on.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right.
Yeah.
I've just
Okay, hang on a
done
second. Right, wait a second. Right, just set up this microphone here.
Okay.
And it's gonna go
This is a
there.
professional
It's
job.
really professional, yeah.
I
Hang
was
on.
going to text you, but...
Yeah.
That's going to unclip.
Yeah.
That's unclipped.
Right, okay. Audio shift now. This is where I bring in the other mic, you see. In the
Oh,
edit.
I
You
see.
it in
Very
there?
good.
Rob's,
Well,
I was eating a panini. How you doing, Rob?
Yeah, I'm good, all right?
So we were just talking about the monumental, the cataclysmic protest outside Warner Brothers where 13 people showed up.
I know. They
So-
couldn't even get to 52. They might have even taken it, if like 52 had turned up, they were like, okay, yeah, maybe, but yeah.
13.
13. It's
13.
And they were in fancy dress though, which was pretty
Some
good.
of them, apart from there's one guy who was just on the side. I was just saying, the one guy on the side looked like he'd just come off the street. Like, they're
Really?
like, can you
Like
stand
a-
in the picture, please?
Yeah, this is maybe just
Yeah,
get them all
yeah.
in. Yeah, it's a bit sad, really. But there is
13.
meant to be a cut coming out, isn't there?
Not
Really?
a Snyder cut, though.
Not the Snyder cut, but there's meant to be
No.
15 minutes extra footage.
Yeah, but
But it's not the
all
Snyder
films
cut.
have extra footage. I think it's just a placard.
I do. It's just the cash cow. isn't it,
Hashtag,
sort of thing.
hashtag pause for cough.
Been
Sorry.
Still ill.
Yeah, yes.
I'm much better than I was.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. God.
So moving on then, because we basically just said like that movie, we need to move on.
I was making a point. I forget
We
what the
do.
point was
Yeah.
when this handsome chap showed up.
And I'll be honest, Ben, I wasn't listening.
No, I it couldn't have been
That's it.
important.
I
I
don't
can't
listen
remember
to
what it
you.
was.
He's watching a movie on YouTube.
Yeah,
You know, he's not
I
here.
think I've got notes in front of me. It's just YouTube. Yeah. Right. Okay. So the next bit of news: Venom. Did you guys see the official first image that was released and the video that Tom Hardy stood up and started? Actually, it was the director or producer.
Yeah, one of
That
those
dude
guys.
was talking about it, and then Tom Hardy snuck in from the background. Few things to note here.
Okay.
Firstly,
Yeah.
what was going on with his accent?
He, as much as I like Tom Hardy, I think he's a Mockney. Yeah. He's very like, he will just pick up on an accent and
But
kind
it
of be like,
started,
oh, yeah,
it seemed
okay.
quite Brooklyn, didn't it?
It did,
and then he
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of dropped that
Right,
relatively
right. Back into
quickly.
it.
Yeah.
But have you seen the Sky adverts? Heard him speaking that?
Yes.
Sky, believe in better. Like that.
Yeah.
It's just like his accent is never the same sort of thing. It's
No,
very
it seems to change
fluid
from
sort of
one,
thing, yeah.
one movie role to the next, basically.
So I have issues with that. But moving on.
But you don't like Tom Hardy.
No, I don't like Tom Hardy. No, I'm the
Okay.
only person here. Did you guys see? Well, so there were I think it was the director. I should know this. I should know this.
Doesn't matter. Nothing's
The
important.
dude that was talking was saying like they asked him where his influences were. What type of Venom story this was. So we know that it's Eddie Brock. We know that other symbiotes are going to be involved. And in that image that was released,
Yes.
there are some notes on his notepad.
Yeah, I
So
made
he's-
out the middle paragraph.
Yeah, so he's obviously Eddie Brock as reporter, as he was originally.
Yeah.
And so these are the notes. So how exactly does the Life Foundation go about testing its pharmaceuticals? What about the allegations your empire is built on? That you recruit the most vulnerable of us to volunteer for the tests that end up them? ? And what we can take from this is that in the comics, the Life Foundation is the foundation of ill repute that do testing on humans and develop symbiote clones.
I see.
Which is why there'll be things like Scream, Phage, Riot, Lasher, Agony, Carnage, and Venom.
Carnage was the original offspring of the symbiote,
Yeah,
I believe.
so-
and the rest are offspring of Carnage?
I feel
maybe?
like we might not even get an origin. It might jump straight into it, and he's Venom already, and they're testing on other symbiotes.
I think they'll go the Spider-Man route.
You
He'll be
reckon?
investigating, break in, get messed up.
Oh, so you think just skip out Spider-Man entirely and just
Yeah.
Venom goes on him?
Yeah, I think it will be. I don't know. Is it meant to tie into Spider-Man at all?
It's
Again, I'm coming from nowhere here.
No, no,
I'm
it's fine.
literally
Potentially one day it will.
It will.
But at the moment,
Yeah.
See,
it's
so-
in the same universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Venn diagram, there's a crossover with
Yeah.
Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So it's Marvel, but it's Sony, and
Yeah.
and Tom Holland is the only link. It's
Right.
not quite the same.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they just get rid of all of Spider-Man and just they'd play it safe, surely, wouldn't they? Standard. He's a reporter.
Yeah.
He's looking into this illegal testing or whatever.
I wonder
He
if
gets messed up himself, and then
Excuse me.
Yeah, I do think
Yeah.
you'll see.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't
you're
think
right,
you'll
like-
have. He'll be already with the symbiote bonded and Venom, and he'll go into this building, and then you'll see him
Yeah.
sort of
You'll see a
Venom
trans-
out.
yeah,
I
he'll
think
have a
you'll see him get a bit on him, and he's like, "Oh, what's that?" A little bit like the Topher Grace thing in Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
It won't be coming off of Spider-Man. It will be in this
it'll
lab,
be in a
like Rob
test tube
says.
sort of thing. Or
Yeah, and he'll sort of go, "Oh, I want to touch it for some reason." And he'll touch it, and then it swamps him, and he's all over him.
Now, I've been saying for ages about this movie, like, I have no feeling about it other than I don't think it'll do well because I haven't seen anything of it. Weirdly, this really does spark my interest.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
as well.
me
After
too.
seeing that
Yeah,
yesterday,
too.
I was like, okay, this has got legs.
Yeah, it should be utter shit. But
I like
think,
what you did there.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
what you did there?
Because spiders have got 8 legs.
Ah.
So you
Yes.
didn't think of that one, did you?
No,
This has got
I
8
was talking
legs.
about
man.
from Flash Thompson, who doesn't have legs until the symbiote gives him legs.
But it's
What
not-
happens to
it's
Flash's legs?
He
goes to the wall.
He goes to the wall and he
okay.
loses
I love your shock and like
I was.
you're worried about Flash.
I
Oh,
was a
his
little
legs.
bit.
Yeah.
He's beating up Peter Parker then. That's what I want to know is.
This is afterwards when they become
Yeah.
friends. Anyway, we're tangenting.
But this is but I like this because I want a Spider-Man. I'm fed up of the Spider-Boy, basically.
Right, okay.
I want a 30-year-old man struggling to pay his mortgage,
Yeah,
get the
but-
photos and...
The thing is, that's the Spider-Man we've had in the comics in the last 10, 15, 20 years because he's almost been allowed to age.
Yeah.
And that's why Miles Morales exists, who's a fantastic character, but let Peter Parker be older.
Yeah, Spider-Man
Yeah.
now he's head of his own company, Parker Industries.
Yeah.
He's really successful.
I wanna see
He's
this
rivaling
Spider-Man.
Stark, with his creations and things like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I want
interested.
that.
I really want a trailer. I really, 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 really want a trailer.
When's
now.
this movie coming out?
At some point in the future.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tom Holland doesn't stand a chance against him, really, I don't think.
No,
well,
no.
you always think that, but
I
then,
know. This is
Spidey
it.
always comes out on
This
top.
is it.
He always comes out on top.
5th of October.
Oh, wow,
That's
that's
quite a
not
time,
that's not far away.
That's quite a tight
That's
turnaround,
according to
isn't
Google, and Google is never wrong ever.
No, never. Never, ever.
But also, that is also according to IMDb. So,
Okay.
look, if you go on IMDb, the picture that they've now got is that official release of just Tom
Yeah.
Hardy just looking at a notebook. It's like they could have used the promotional "We Are Venom" thing, but no, it's just Tom Hardy. Just
Well, they'll use what's new and what's
Yeah,
hip and what's now.
so yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
This I'm annoyed that this has sparked my interest, but I really am eager for it.
Oh my
now.
God.
Yeah.
Whatever next? 2018. # Nate loves Tom Hardy.
No.
Okay,
no,
fine.
no,
Went too
no,
far.
no.
You'll
I
go
went too
back. You'll
far.
be watching Taboo and
Yeah, no.
stuff.
I never finished that. I watched the first 2 episodes of season 1. I never finished it.
It just reminds me of the board game. Do you guys ever play the board game Taboo?
No.
I'm aware of it. I don't
so
think I've ever played it.
you have a card, lots of different cards, and there's a word on the top you've got to get your team to say, but you're not allowed to say any of the words underneath the line. And you have someone looking over your shoulder. So, like, if it was said Prime Minister, you couldn't say, like, House of Parliament or anything like that.
But you could say like leader of
Yeah, you could just say,
party in government or
just
something.
say Theresa May.
Very
See,
good.
but I think outside the box.
I see.
By
I like
naming the... I don't think that's actually on
No.
there, but you know what I mean. That's,
Okay.
anyway,
I can
Taboo.
tell you now it was nothing to do with the board game.
Oh, right. That's a shame. I just saw just Tom Hardy playing that for
That was
that.
it, yeah. Come on. Yeah.
Right, because you had a really good cool squeaker bit in it. Doesn't matter. Move
No?
on.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Oh
So,
my God.
Next bit of news: X-Men.
All right. Where are we on the sliding scale this week?
I hate everything about it.
Okay, good.
Okay. So the X-Men movies owned by Fox, just been bought out by Marvel or Disney, but haven't moved over yet. There's going to be a whole lot of negotiation. Oh, I just tapped you on the shoulder.
Ooh,
On
I know
the
what
shoulder,
that
on
means,
your
don't
knee.
you?
I just come here.
We better go.
Oh my God.
So the Fox movies, they're owned by Disney now, but they're not. There's a lot of negotiations and stuff. So the ones that are on the slate at the minute are happening no matter what, and then things will change. But the point is, the slate has changed slightly. Deadpool 2 is coming out sooner, and will now battle against Solo, a Star Wars story.
That's going to destroy that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, you talked about it last week a bit, didn't you? Solo is...
They're just going to impact on each other, I think, completely. I think that what they'll do is neither one will do that well.
Well, I think Deadpool 2 will smash Solo out of the park.
Yeah.
I think Solo,
Yeah.
like you said, they've almost written it off. I think this is the... Not the final nail in the coffin, but the lid's going on and they're starting to line the nails up, basically.
Right, okay.
I think if Deadpool... Because Deadpool was successful. I know you didn't love it, but a lot of people did.
So-
I enjoyed it.
And I suppose the people with the disposable income are the sort of 15 to 18-year-olds, and this movie is just perfectly
It's
aimed at 16-year-old
pitched
boys.
at those guys,
Yeah.
and they are going to lap this up. And if it's coming out, when's it coming out in May?
18th maybe? No, it doesn't
That's-
say. No, it doesn't quite say.
Well, that's right, just before a bank holiday, or not a bank holiday. There's like that.
It doesn't
week
say the
off, I
exact
think there
date.
is in
Sorry,
May.
it's just 2 weeks earlier. So it's
Okay, so they've moved it forward.
Yeah.
It's going to destroy Solo.
and
Destroy it.
New Mutants has been pushed back from February to April. February 2019 to April.
February 2019 to April 2019. I thought
what
it was
it
coming
says.
out in 2018.
From April to.
Oh, sorry. Apologies. I've
Oh,
mixed
that
it up.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. It's April this year, been pushed back to February next year.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
is
yeah.
That's a
worrying.
huge knock.
That is very worrying.
Seeing as how it's made and there's a trailer out.
Yeah, that
Is that
means
the horror one? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that's set in some kind of asylum.
Yeah.
That's a lot setting alarm bells ringing for me, because that means that there's something
Fundamentally,
intrinsically
yeah.
wrong with that movie, and they want to fix it, and they're giving themselves a lot of time to do it, which means reshoots, which means the script that they had and they started shooting with is going to be ripped up and recut and rewritten.
Hang on.
Sure.
Could this be anything to do with Disney?
What, Disney have come in and said, we
It's
don't
too
want...
dark.
No, yeah, could be too dark, but also could Disney say, well, we've got plans for X-Men, so put this in it.
Could be. Could be. I don't know. I don't think they could do that, though, at the moment, because they don't actually own it yet.
Well,
Could it form part of negotiations?
maybe, don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
You're right, it might be too dark for Disney.
I'm wondering if they've looked at it and just gone.
It could
I
be.
bet they can't. Yeah.
When was it gonna
That
come
was
out?
the intrigue, though,
It was going to
wasn't
be. It was going to be April.
this
could-
year.
Yeah.
So that's
That is a
when
long
Infinity War
pushback.
comes out. So maybe they want Infinity War
So
to have...
10 months.
a
they've
clean
moved it
run.
by- They've moved by 10
But
months.
maybe the slate's clear for next year. They haven't really got anything
Yeah.
to release next
Yeah,
year. They can
yeah.
polish it up.
Well,
add some stuff. Maybe.
Funny you should say that.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Because Gambit was supposed to be released, excuse me, February 2019, was officially moved to June 7th, 2019, and then the director left.
That movie is never going to happen under Fox.
Nope.
It might happen. You might get a Gambit character if the deal goes through and Disney get X-Men and all that.
Not interested in the slightest bit in that character. Rob's shaking his head.
No, I'm not. I don't really care.
And I also don't think I want Tatum. He's wrong.
He's too old. I'm sorry. He's too old for the role now. He's in his 40s. He's too old, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Who are you to talk about old? You two.
Well, I mean, that's fair enough.
That is
but
fair.
it does cut me deep, but it is fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah.
I got ID'd in Waitrose yesterday
Why?
because I was buying booze.
Yeah, but... I'm sorry. You don't look under 18.
I know.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, you can check my ID.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Anyway, yeah, no, I agree. No, he is too old. Absolutely agree.
Yeah, and like you said, I don't care about the character
Nope.
really. He was fine in the X-Men animated series, but I didn't love him.
no.
You know, you much prefer Cyclops and Wolverine and Jean Grey and Storm and all that lot, don't you? It was always or even Jubilee, for Christ's sake. Jubilee's a character I want to see on the screen properly done.
She's your way into movies like that because
Yeah.
she's her opening story is I've just discovered these powers and I'm a kid.
Yeah, she was
So-
she was the way into the animated series. Wasn't
Absolutely,
she?
yeah. It's like it's she asks all the questions about mutants and mutant powers and stuff that she doesn't have.
What you
And
don't want is a cocky southern chap with a weird bandana on his head who can make
it's
cars
like a sock.
explode.
He's got like a sock with a hole in it,
Yeah, whatever.
2 holes in it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
nah.
should we move on?
Yeah, I think so. We've done it. Fox are slowly spiraling out of control.
Jennifer Lawrence is in a new film called Red Sparrow and it looks absolutely awful.
Have you seen this trailer, Rob?
Yeah, I hate Jennifer Lawrence anyway.
Yes!
Her accent's terrible.
Her accent! No
And
one in
it's-
this trailer can hold an accent for
And
3
it's just
minutes!
Black Widow. It's just like,
Well, we'll get
seriously,
onto that in a
try
second,
and get
absolutely.
a Black Widow movie out.
We'll
No.
get to that.
Yeah.
Now,
This
listen.
looks awful.
I love this trailer,
Awful.
and I understand that I'm probably in the minority. I love Jennifer Lawrence.
No, she's high on herself. She's high on her own. I spat at the screen.
Oh,
she's
that
was
high on
good.
her own
That's
self.
better. But yeah, she does seem so far up her own. Like,
Yeah. See, that's what
Hot
she.
shit
See,
at the
that's why
moment.
she was great in the first Hunger Games film because it's like, who is this? She's doing really well. She's acting really well. She's a strong female actress. She's paving the way, and now she's in love with herself.
Do you think she's become a caricature of herself?
Yes.
Who the hell are you to say that? Who do you think you are, you two?
Don't you know
You
who I am?
elitist men.
Don't you know who I am?
Hey, listen, it probably won't do anywhere near as well as Atomic Blonde. Did you watch that last year?
I didn't watch it.
That was good. That was really good. But at the same time, it's going to be more like a spy intrigue rather than action.
But as Rob has said,
Sure.
Black Widow. Listen to the name, Red Sparrow, Black Widow.
Yeah.
It's just a knockoff. It really is.
And
Is it based on anything? Is it based on like a book or something like that?
don't
Winter
believe so.
Soldier? Yeah, Winter Soldier from last year or whatever, when it was.
Well, I'm going to watch
And
it.
speaking of which,
I'm going to watch that Red Sparrow movie. I don't care.
there is news that possibly a Black Widow movie is in the works.
I did see that yesterday.
So-
As it should be.
Yeah, Avengers
That's
4
great.
is finished filming.
Has
That's
it?
the they've
Oh,
got
okay.
filming. Yeah,
Right.
that's the end of Phase 4,
Sure.
3, 4.
Who knows?
Sure.
Phase sure, yeah.
Who knows?
That's the end of Marvel's plan.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't have a plan going
No,
forward?
they do have a plan going forward, but it's not. They said it's not in phases like it was.
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
And
They
so
can't
from then
release
on out-
names. It will spoil everything.
Yeah, from then on out, it seems to be suggested that they're going to do a lot more. They're going to do just some smaller films, some ones that aren't necessarily connected, some different characters. They're going to go off and do some stuff. And it looks to me like this is the first in that series of things. And bloody about time.
Well, she deserves her own movie because she's been great in all the Avengers and all the other movies that she's been in as like a supporting character. Where has she been in other than Avengers? She was in
Iron Man
Man
2.
2.
Iron Man 2. That's where she was introduced.
Yeah.
She was in the
three of
Winter
them.
Soldier and Civil War.
Yep.
The Captain America Part 2 and Part 3.
Yeah. Captain America, Winter Soldier is one of the greatest movies, isn't it? It's just a great movie.
It's brilliant.
really,
it's
like
really-
it. You're grimacing.
I loved it to begin with, but I don't think there's much of a story there if you go back. Everyone's saying, "Oh, it's like a Cold War spy thriller," and it's like
It is.
It's but at the base level, it's a very thin story.
But
Don't take it away from me, Rob.
I think
It's very thin. It's a very thin scene. If you held it up, you could see the light through it going, okay.
But I think what it
But-
is it's a superhero movie that
It's
is
wrapped around.
that, and that's why I like it because it doesn't have to be a whole spy thriller.
Yeah.
It's a Captain America. He wears blue tights,
Yeah.
you know. But then if you put it in a different setting, oh, now I'm interested.
Yeah.
You know, I like that.
And he's not in the blue tights for half of it. Is
No,
he? He's in his
exactly,
leather
yeah.
jacket and his baseball cap.
He's
and
undercover.
stuff.
You can't even tell it's him, can you?
No,
He's
not
got
at all,
his
'cause he
baseball cap
grows
and
a bit of a beard
Yeah,
as well
he's got
and
his
stuff.
glasses. So yeah.
But you know, you could do a really tight little Cold War. You know, if it went back to when she's meant to be in the Russian,
Yeah.
you know, when she's meant to be the ballerina and everything.
Yeah.
Show me all of that. Show me, get the Winter Soldier in it as well.
What I'd like is a flitting between time things that they do a lot in TV series at the minute. Have two parallel storylines running together where the past comes to meet her and she has flashbacks all the way through. So
Yeah.
her training as a ballerina. Even cast someone else. Cast someone 15, you know,
Yeah.
and have it, you know, those storylines. That's what I'd like to see. Because then you give new young talent a chance to shine, don't you?
Yeah, I want to see a Black Widow movie. I think those ideas you've just come up with would be fantastic. Having the Winter Soldier in it as because there's that line, isn't there, in Civil War? Don't you even recognise me? She says to Bucky when he's what's he called? Baron Zemo said those words to him, like his trigger words
Yeah.
that take him over, and he becomes the Winter Soldier again. And there's that scene where he slams her onto the table and he's throttling her, and she literally just says to us, "Don't you even recognise me?" So tying back in with that, having Bucky in it, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Even if he's in it for a scene where, I don't know, she sees him and he's like taking people apart or something like that, that'd be great. I'd love to have that wrapped around again. That'd be lovely.
That would probably work well, considering Sebastian Stan is almost certainly going to take the mantle of Captain America after the Avengers movies.
Oh, well, we
Isn't
shall
he?
see.
And give him his own Star Wars movie as well.
Well, as
What?
Luke
As
Skywalker.
Have
Yeah.
you seen how much he looks like Mark Hamill?
Wait,
Yes,
hang
he
on. Let's just.
really,
I know he does,
really
but let's
does.
just get this on the record now. Solo, terrible idea. Early Luke film, great idea.
Luke after.
Yeah, could. Now that he's dead.
Luke-
Well, no, spoilers.
Oh my God.
If he did.
Oh my
Because somebody
God.
said to me, was like, did he die? He fell off the rock, so I presume he is dead. He could have just been really tired. But, yeah,
Well, no,
there's a lot of
he became
one with the
Force.
yeah.
Yes. Spoilers.
Fell off a rock.
He fell off the rock, yeah. He fell off the rock, back in his head, but yeah. Yeah, but he looks really like him. And now that they, you know, if you're going to do a young Han Solo movie, you might
Yeah,
as well do
do
a
a
young,
young-
young
or at least-
Skywalker
Where
movie.
would you
do-
set it though? Would you set it between
Yeah, after
New
New
Hope,
Hope, yeah.
and
after
it's
Jedi.
about 2 years?
Oh, after Jedi.
Yeah, what did he do after Jedi? What's he
right.
been doing like before Jedi and before Knights of Ren? You know, there's God knows how many years.
40 years.
40 years of him
Yeah.
wandering around the systems.
Buck Rogers.
Buck Rogers around the system.
Yeah.
Doing, you know.
Long-time listeners will know what that means.
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
good.
So,
Very good.
yeah, and give him, that's it. 2018, Sebastian Shaw, yeah. I don't know.
Sebastian Shaw, Sebastian Stan.
Stan,
Yeah.
Who's Sebastian Shaw? That's
That's a guy from X-Men
Hellfire
First Class.
Hellfire Club.
Hellfire
Yeah,
Club.
that's it.
yeah.
And Emma Frost, give her a movie as well.
No,
Why not?
because I don't like the character.
Wasn't there meant to be a TV show, The Hellfire Club?
Yeah, but they canned it
That would have been good.
because then they went for The Gifted, which apparently is quite good, but I just
The
cannot bring
first
myself to watch
episode was very good. After that, it went really downhill fast for me, and I stopped watching.
it. Can't bring myself to watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair
Right,
enough.
last bit of news. This
I
is
saw
just
the
for
image
rage.
then.
Just for rage.
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan is campaigning to play Barbara Gordon in Joss Whedon's Batgirl movie. Thoughts?
I mean,
So I was having a conversation on Twitter with someone about this. Someone said it might have been Tim, it might have been Bohemian Schnapsy. He said, "Oh, well, look what it did for Robert Downey Jr. He was on a downward spiral, got Tony Stark role, became Iron Man, and now basically is Iron Man." And I was like, "Yeah, but
he had the chops.
exactly. Lindsay Lohan is not Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but she's not. Hey,
Down-
listen, if she gets the role, I'll support her. But do you really think that she's capable of being the main focus of an intrinsically good and well-rounded character that's part of the DC universe? Do you think she's got the chops to hold that?
Do you want some data?
Go on then.
She tweeted, "Retweet if I should star in the new Batgirl movie and tell everyone at Joss kissing face heart." It got 4,770 retweets and 6,980 likes. Now that's a lot. That's a big number with those.
I've seen bigger
But
numbers
they
on
are
Twitter.
not big enough.
No.
We're talking like hundreds
Hundreds of thousands of
retweets.
retweets and likes is what you'd expect if people are really on board.
So I think this is a non-bit of news, but I just thought you might want to rage about it.
Yeah, I don't think a studio would touch her. Not a big studio like Ben was saying. There's too
Yeah.
much, she's meant to be a wreck or whatever on
But
set. and
especially
stuff like
as,
that,
Or she shows up, she doesn't know her lines, unprofessional,
or she's drunk,
unprepared.
Yeah,
Was, Warner Brothers is cleaning house a little bit, aren't they?
Yeah.
They've changed the people at the top. They've given people more autonomy to go and make films with less committees. They don't have to go to the council quite so much. I don't think the hooded council.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's how I imagine all councils of all departments.
Just
Like,
Rupert Murdoch that's sat in a
The greater good.
yeah. Like if you'd
Yeah.
imagine the place where we work, without saying it on here, I imagine the council of this place is just a round table of people with hoods, and in the background a noise of just this constant noise of.
Well, we know there is a round table. It's like
Yeah,
the
I was
Senate
gonna say,
chamber
yeah,
from
the
Star
wall,
Wars.
yeah.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
and
I
just-
thought we meant the Senate room over.
Well, exactly. That's what I did mean. Yeah.
So yeah, I just imagine that. But
Well-
like, the Warner Brothers Senate chamber will be like that, and they'll just be like, no.
Look,
no.
as a father of girls, I want my kids to look up to someone like Gal Gadot rather than someone like Lindsay Lohan. So
Agreed.
Gal Gadot is a fantastic actress. She's a beautiful woman. She's done brilliantly as Wonder Woman. And Lindsay Lohan has not displayed that over the last 5
Also-
to 10 years. She's displayed being a drunk,
Agree.
being a
Yeah.
drug user, getting arrested
Not
for
reliable.
drinking under the influence.
Yep.
I'm
Let me ask
sorry,
you a
I don't
question.
want my daughter to be looking up to someone like that.
Let me ask a question. How old is Batgirl?
Early 20s.
Max.
Yeah, mid-20s. I mean, I don't know.
18 maybe? She's young, right? She's Batgirl.
In the canon of yeah, I don't know.
You
When
just
does
broke
the-
a little bit. I
I
feel
did,
like
no.
you're in
I
the
was trying to
canon
work
of,
it. Just got nosebleed. No, I was trying to think
In
like
the
when
canon.
Killing
In
Joke.
what canon, though?
Yeah.
When
Post
Killing
Infinite
Joke might have
Crisis?
happened, and then she became Oracle. So
Yeah.
yeah, if that happened late 20s, yeah, maybe.
Okay, well, Lindsay Lohan's 31 at
Yeah.
this point.
I'm sorry, hey, listen, if you back Lindsay Lohan's Batgirl, all power to you, but hashtag not my Batgirl.
Should we move on?
Emma
Please.
Stone.
Emma Stone.
There you go.
How old is
He's
Emma
done
Stone?
it.
Hang
He's
on.
done it.
I just went for a redhead. So I was
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
how many?
When we cast Batgirl, we cast, what's her face from Westworld?
Emma Stone's 29, sorry, mate.
Is she?
Yeah.
What's her face called from Westworld? I've forgotten what she's called. Thingy from Westworld.
The one that's got like 3 names.
Yes. And we always get them the wrong way round.
Yeah.
Oh, the lead one.
Oh, God, what's her name?
If only we had some sort of tool to look it up that I was faster with.
Yeah, please, come on.
Evan Rachel Wood.
That's the one, Rachel Evan Wood.
Yeah.
Evan Rachel Wood.
Rachel Evan.
I think she's in her 30s as well.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
But I'd rather her as Batgirl than Lindsay Lohan as Batgirl if they cast that old.
Let's move on.
Please.
Cast it. Jessica Chastain.
Oh my God, she's even older.
I'm going to pitch every superhero older than it should be. Yeah.
You're just
With
thinking
red hair.
redheads. You're just
Pretty
thinking
much,
redheads,
yeah.
Scarlett Johansson?
Christina Hendricks.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Now you're talking. Yeah,
Moving on, everybody.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Nerdscene.
This is Nerdscene. This is where we talk about stuff we've seen and watched and read and what have you.
Sure.
I'm not going to explain it any more than that.
No. I mean, it's a play on words. Scene,
As in-
S-C-E-N-E, as in scene,
As in what you've
S-E-E-N.
seen and then seen in the
Sure.
film.
Yeah.
So last weekend we've got with us a new addition in our household, and so the micro Italian, no, the mini Italian. What are we going to call him?
Maybe his name, Seb?
No, don't reveal that.
Don't reveal who he is.
No.
All right. Do you want to edit that out?
No, I'll just leave it in.
Okay, fine.
So the mini Italian, I think, fits.
God, just say words.
Anyway, so the mini Italian has joined our household, and we decided to have a little movie fest this
By the way,
weekend.
this isn't you haven't just had a kid. This is a member of the Italian
Maybe.
family.
Who knows?
Has come to live with you.
Maybe.
Possibly. Okay.
And we watched the Fellowship of the Ring on Saturday night, and then we watched Two Towers on Sunday night, and then this weekend we're going to watch Return of the King. I have to tell you,
Uh-huh.
I thoroughly enjoyed watching those two films again.
Did you really?
I really did. I was not
Interesting.
thinking I was going to enjoy them as much as I was, because they're long movies and I've seen them a lot and I have very strong memories of them. They're solid in my mind. But we watched them.
I can believe that.
And we were all like, well, shit me, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, felt real good.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the Lord of the Rings movies? You hate them.
I've seen the first one. I've seen half of the second one. Haven't seen the third one.
Fair enough.
There you go.
Listen, they're not for everyone. I really enjoyed them. I didn't see Fellowship of the Ring at the cinema, and I really regretted it. I watched it on VHS or maybe an early DVD copy, and I was like,
Shame.
bloody hell, this is great.
I'm ringing a bell. Shame.
Yeah. So I watched Two Towers and Return of the King at the cinema. They're great. I haven't watched them for a couple of years, but we showed them to Mia and Harvey. I think when Harvey became 12, and he was like old enough to watch them.
Yeah.
And he cried at the end of the first one when Sean Bourne's character, spoilers, gets those massive arrow bolts stuck in his head. In his body.
You get so much more from it, I think, as an adult. Like, little things like Aragorn deciding to actually take up the mantle of being the heir to the throne.
Yes.
He's on the way to that. But when Boromir dies, that's the moment where he goes, no, I need to do this now.
Yeah.
For him.
That's
the turning point. And
Boromir saying to him, I would have followed you.
yeah, exactly.
My
And
captain, my
it's
king.
It's making my hairs on my neck stand up. Now. Like, there's when you're younger watching, I think you kind of like, oh, that's really sad, and he feels sad for him, and now go along, and he's sort of railroaded into following that journey. But you see more of the character development there, actually. And as much as I really
And
think
it picks up again in Two Towers when he then goes and helps as the de facto heir to the throne of Gondor.
Yeah.
He then goes and helps Rohan against the
Uruk-hai.
Fantastic.
It's great.
That is a great battle scene.
I can't tell you.
Rob. I cannot tell you the look we've got on Rob's face at
He's
the
like,
moment.
what words are you saying?
It's just like,
Gondor. What the hell?
I think you'd actually enjoy it.
I probably would. I did enjoy the first one.
Knowing you as you've aged,
That's it.
and the
I do
more
like a bit of sword and sandals.
yeah,
now,
and
so
also the fact that I think you are more accepting now of things. I think when you were a bit younger, you perhaps were like, "Ah, this isn't for me." But I think now you probably.
I think you'd
like
probably
it.
enjoy it now. Yeah.
probably
Which
would.
version did you watch? Did you watch the 3-hour cinematic cut?
Yeah,
Or the 3.5-hour? I think that's wrong, but whatever.
The first two are
Extended
171 minutes and then 172 minutes, and the third one is 193 minutes.
Oh my god, that's fine though. Sunday,
crazy.
a wet Sunday afternoon. That's exactly what you want, isn't it?
Yeah.
Man, I'm.
It was just
I'm
great.
jealous. They're great movies.
I think people should go back and watch them. That was all. That's just.
I said to you probably about a year or so ago that we should do a podcast on those movies, like a rewind and review that we used to do.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, I can't do them. I can't do it. I've seen those movies so many times.
That's what I mean.
Didn't you work in a movie theater when they came out or something?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
there you go.
They came out on my a significant birthday, should we say? I don't want to give it away.
You don't want to give it away, do you?
They came out some
40.
All right, oh Jesus. Yeah, they came out then, and so for me, I went to London each time they were released on either the day of the release or the week of the release, and I went in Leicester Square, and it was great. And the first one, the scene at the end where the Aragorn kills the Uruk-hai that's just killed Boromir, like the entire theatre just cheered and clapped. I've never had that experience before or since. And it was.
I wouldn't want it again.
I know, it's really weird.
Shut up in the cinema.
Exactly.
Watch the film.
Exactly.
What's wrong with you?
When I describe it to people,
we're not American.
Exactly. Like, you want to react and say, "Oh no, that's not cool," but actually, we're all so into it.
Yeah.
We were just like, "Yes!"
Yeah, I'm sure I would have been swept up in it as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's why I kind of put it on here, because it was like an emotive experience this weekend.
That's
very
good.
good. Yeah.
That's really good.
You've got on here, step it down a little notch, but Walking Dead 175. You read?
Well, yeah, I've given myself my New Year's resolution. I've given myself an easy one this year, and that is to clear my backlog of reading. So I've read a good couple of graphic novels over the last week and a half, however long we are into.
You read Identity Crisis, didn't you?
I did finally read Identity
Is
Crisis.
that Meltzer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Such a
and
great
I've
book.
had it from Nate for probably about 18 months, and I gave it back at one point. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to read it. And you were like, please just
hold on
take
to
it back
really.
and hold it and read it. So I did, and I finally read it, and bloody hell, it's good. I got past the first issue,
And
which is all exposition.
It's difficult because there are 3 text boxes going on.
Yeah,
and
there's
there's
so
3
much.
scenes happening, and
But
once you're into it,
the first time I tried to read it, I think I was too tired for it, and I didn't give it my full attention. So I stopped, started again. Bloody hell, was it good? It's really, really good.
It's well
And
good.
I really didn't see when you get the reveal
Yeah.
or the fake reveal. I was like, really? And then when you get the twist and you get the actual reveal, I was like, oh my god, that's just insane.
Yeah, it's great.
But it makes perfect sense. It's great. If you haven't read
Like,
Identity
it's such
Crisis,
an old book. We shouldn't not spoil it, but like, I don't want to
No,
spoil
don't-
it because
I don't
it's
wanna
good.
spoil
you
it
know?
'cause it's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
It's such
I
a
also read Batman, Earth 1 and Earth 1, Volume 1 and Volume 2, which were
Fantastic.
great. However, I don't like the fact you can see his eyes.
I love it.
No, I don't. I want white eyes. I want comic book accurate white eyes.
The
But
thing
it's meant
is-
to be like a denim suit that he's wearing, though, isn't it?
yeah,
It does look very
I mean, I
homemade,
know it's an
that's it.
Elseworlds book as well, so
But
I know
it's-
it's different, but it's great.
The creative team doing it, Gary Frank and Jeff Johns.
Yeah.
It's my
Oh, sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's my pinnacle. Like there are no
Show
other
him
two
your tattoos.
Yeah. There are
And they're doing Doomsday
Doomsday
Clock
Clock,
right now.
there- You know, there are no 2 other creatives that I would ever want writing anything or drawing anything for me. They're the 2. So for me, that's great.
Yeah, it was really good. I
Oh,
read.
Frank follows me on Twitter.
Does he?
I know, yeah, it's really weird. He retweeted something I put out the other day, and I was like, "What? Why does he follow me?"
Well, we met him, didn't
Yeah, yeah, it was around that time.
That's
because I got
amazing.
permission from him,
Yeah.
so he followed me, and we were DMing.
Yeah.
I
was
he
sorting out-
retweeted some political thing I put out the other day. I was like, yes.
Okay, yeah,
All
okay,
right,
okay.
it's not about politics. On
Yeah.
here.
Oh no, this is it.
Come on.
Yeah, no, this
There was because I've sorted out some of my signatures and sketches, and came across that one again. I was like, oh god, this is amazing. His suit. I used to do the Superman sort of bust for me, basically the head and shoulders.
Yeah.
What did you do over Christmas that you had to get rid of all of those? I just saw them all come through. Something's happened. I've got to get rid of a load of comics.
No, I was just having a sort out.
Oh,
well,
right.
see, the mini Italian came to stay.
Ah,
so
okay,
you
that's
see,
it. I got it.
Yeah, he's in my room.
Yeah.
What else? I want to go through some of the things. I read Spider-Man Blue.
great.
Right.
Yeah, well,
So sad.
I
yeah.
enjoyed it, but it was so much more of a love story than I thought it was
Yeah,
going to be.
yeah.
But really, really good.
Yeah.
I liked how
That's Jeff Loeb and
Tim Sale.
Tim Sale,
Yeah.
another great creative team.
Yeah, they're very good.
Because they did Daredevil Yellow at the same
Yeah,
time.
they did.
didn't
Yeah,
Hulk
Hulk
Grey,
Grey, and
yeah.
there's a
Captain America White,
yeah.
which is
Not very
really
good.
good.
Not very
No,
good.
I thought that was fantastic.
really bad.
I've got it. I read it.
That's how good it
Don't
was.
remember
Yeah,
it.
but I remember the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I've
it was,
read-
the late release was
Yeah, it was like that.
I've read Daredevil Yellow, Spider-Man Blue now, and Captain America White. I want to do Hulk Grey and do the set.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy Spider-Man Blue,
I would
but
say-
it was so much more him as Peter Parker pining for Gwen Stacy than I
Yeah.
realised. But
But
real
think
good.
I think Spider-Man Blue and Daredevil Yellow are the 2 of those 4 that are the good ones.
Okay.
Really, that's the ones I
Okay.
really liked.
I read Volume 1 of Descender, which I've now lent to you.
Yeah, I've read
and
the first
it
few
was
pages.
fucking amazing.
Language, Benjamin.
Sorry, beep it out if you want. But
I'm not gonna.
Bash. Yeah, beep it out if you want. Bash 2110 told me probably about 6 months ago that I'd love this and I should buy it. And I was like, fine, I'll buy it and I'll read it. Finally got round to it and I want to know more. I'm going to pause because I'm going to clear all my backlog, but I'm definitely going to go and start reading Descender because it's real good.
I've read the setup.
Yeah, sure.
The other night I texted you saying, I've started reading it, but I'm just too tired to read this.
Same as I was with Identity Crisis.
It was like dark in the room because it was the evening, and I had the side light on. And I didn't want to turn the main light on. I couldn't read it properly. I was like, this looks interesting. Put it down.
Maybe give it another go.
I'm gonna. But
just real quick before I get onto the two that we have actually put down here. I read a comic book by Jason Aaron called The Other Side. Have you heard of that?
I don't think so.
Are you a Jason Aaron fan? I can't remember if you like Jason Aaron.
Yeah, I do.
Did you Scout?
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
It's a Vietnam War comic book story. It's got an intro written by Dale Dye, who's like the Hollywood war consultant. Basically, he consulted on Band of Brothers and Saving Private Ryan, and basically any war film you can think of, he consulted on it. He writes the intro to it, and he's like, "This is the best war story I've ever written." And Jason Aaron was inspired to write it because his cousin wrote The Short Timers, which was the book that the movie Full Metal Jacket was based on.
Oh, right.
Anyway, this comic book, it tells a US Marines story about him being drafted and going to war, and a member of the Northern Vietnamese army offering to go to war to protect his country. And it is absolutely spellbindingly amazing.
What's that called?
The Other Side. I've got it. I've got a hardcover graphic novel. I will lend it to whoever wants to borrow it.
Sounds good.
It's pretty graphic in some areas, but it doesn't glamorize it. It tells you the horrors of war, and it tells a story of why one guy goes to war as opposed to why another guy is forced to go to war. And it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I think it's quite old. It came out in like 2007 or 8, maybe, I think.
Ancient.
I know, ancient,
yeah.
right?
Now,
but
after all that seriousness,
real good.
tell us about the fluff you've got on here.
Okay, so the fluff I got on here, Walking Dead 175, is part one of a 6-comic arc called New World Order. And I don't want to go into it too much because it will spoil what the TV show is coming ahead. Always the way with this comic book.
Yeah.
But basically, they find a new group of people in a different location, and holy shit,
Mate,
the ending is so gut-punchingly twisting. It's unreal.
Is it not just the same, more of the same?
No, it's real good. It's real good. Because the people they meet... Okay, so in The Walking Dead at the moment where I was, just before we got to this, people who are still alive have got a pretty good community going on that incorporates a couple of different locations. And it's great. They've just had a fair and people have showed up and, selling all different sort of wares and things like that. And they've got like a bartering system going on.
There's no way
and it's amazing. You think,
around.
wow, this is as far as they're going to advance in this post-apocalyptic world. And they meet these new people who are, spoilers, called the Commonwealth. And there's like 50,000 people living there, and they've got sports going on, and they've got an actual army where an actual army sort of, or looking like almost like sci-fi advanced sort of army sort of people, and their tactics are next level, and it's just brilliant.
Nah, jump the shark for me, that is.
Oh my god, it's brilliant.
I don't know. It seems
Where were they?
smart that there'd be like a top 1% that made it and would still be living out there.
It is
stuff like
absolutely.
Are they still hanging around outside Atlanta?
Well, they're bigger than that now.
See,
they're bigger than that now. No. They moved from Atlanta a while back.
But it strikes me about the show. Again, I'm not of an avid.
And the show's moved from Atlanta.
But like, with the Negan situation, right?
Yeah.
Just leave. There's so much of America you could walk from. Just keep walking.
Yeah, but okay. Well, yes, true. But there could be worse out there than
I guess
Negan.
so, but I don't know. I just.
But okay.
I can't commit to it.
No, honestly, this comic book is going. It's done something. I talked to you about the Whisperers and how great that was.
Yeah.
It sort of resolved that, and now it's giving us something that almost feels like it's getting back to the old problems that we had
Right, okay.
as when we were an actual functioning society.
Right.
I think it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
They're all going to die.
Probably.
50,000 new zombies. And the last thing on here is something, Rob, you and I talked about last week, is Doomsday Clock number 2.
Yes.
So I read that. I caught up with that. I had to skip that from your podcast last week because I didn't want anything to be given away. I read it on Wednesday.
No, we were like, it was good. Don't remember.
Read it on Wednesday. Watched that video that you sent out yesterday as well,
Comics
talking about
Explained.
it.
You guys should check it. Everyone listening should check out Comics Explained.
Yeah, I picked up
Fantastic.
about 4 things that I didn't even realise.
Yeah.
So the Superman theory.
Yeah.
So So what I'm getting from it is that the DC universe that they've turned out, the Watchmen have transported themselves to at the end, isn't quite the same universe as what's canon at the minute.
Well, they kind of said he doesn't know whether it takes place after Metal.
Yeah, it may be
something. Yeah.
So it's either a different version, like a snapshot Elseworlds, or it's like you say in the future of any of the events that are happening now. Batman's there.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Good.
You rate my pancakes.
Yeah. It was bloody good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And Reggie, who's Reggie?
Well, yeah, all sorts of questions about that, aren't there? It's really set up for part 3 to be brilliant.
Well, they're saying, the internet is saying that Reggie, as Rorschach, is the psychiatrist's son.
Possibly.
But
yes.
That seems
There's maybe some jumps in logic to get there.
Yeah, there
but,
seems to be a snap there that's happened, if it is the case. I don't know. Maybe it's maybe, but yeah, it's still great. And we Rob, you and I have said this many times. I think as a 12-issue run, it'll be an incredible, complete arc. Reading it monthly like this, I'm finding it hard. I sort of love it, but I'm like, what does this all mean? You know, I need the 12-issue arc, and you know.
I mean, from all intents and purposes as well, the Watchmen universe just ended as well because the bombs went off, or the missiles went up and landed, and just as what's the owl machine? Night Owl.
It's
I forget what it's called. But anyway, as they took off and moved through the gap in universes and landed in the DC universe, so. They're going to have to. The whole thing is that they're following John's neutrino trail that he sort of emits, right? And they're following him to try and convince him to go back and fix everything.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Because
sorry, it's Archie named after Archimedes.
There you go.
Merlin's pet owl.
Cool.
There you go.
But I love the fact that I really, really like the characters. Oh God, what are they called? Mime and Marionette. They feel so Watchmen. It's unbelievable, and they're original characters, aren't they?
But they are Watchmen's version of Joker and Harley Quinn, right?
Are they?
I mean, that's what I read them as.
Are they?
They are similar.
Well, sure. But I remember a while back when Doomsday Clock was revealed, you were like, or when Rebirth was revealed, you were like, hey, the comedian. He's a bit of a joker, isn't he?
Yeah, true.
So,
yeah. Oh, he turns up again.
He shows up as well. Spoilers, I guess, for Doomsday Clock.
I think
but we're in spoilers.
Yeah.
We're all about the spoilers.
Rob, have you watched or read anything or seen anything?
I haven't watched. I've watched one movie this year, which I'm a bit disappointed about.
What's that?
It was just the Alan Partridge movie again.
Oh, right.
Because I quite like it.
Oh,
Alpha
Papa.
Yeah, it's still good. I'm in a big Partridge mood at the moment. No, I've got tickets for 3 Billboards tomorrow. So
Oh
I'll be going to
yeah,
watch
yeah.
that.
Oh,
Darkest
I really
Hour
wanna
is
watch
out
that.
as well. That looks really good.
Which one?
Darkest Hour, the
Yes,
Churchill
yeah,
one.
I really want to see that as well.
I think I might try and convince the Italians to go and watch that.
Just to say real quick, on the Darkest Hour, go onto Google or YouTube or Bing or whatever the hell you search for, and search for, Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill dancing to James Brown.
Oh yeah, that was on.
If you watch one of the
Yeah.
funniest
Yeah.
clips
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
ever seen.
'Cause he can
It's
move.
so good.
So you're not seeing anything else?
Black Mirror. I've done the season of that.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
disappointing.
Oh.
I was not impressed.
I think
the
the
first
last
one was good.
series.
Last season was very good. There was a couple of good stories, but the first one was all right. The Starfleet one.
But I hear that it's because it's become Hollywoodized. It's lost some of its
I
charm.
don't know. A lot of the writing was all just Charlie Brooker. And I'm
Right.
wondering if it's just running out of ideas.
So-
So the last one was pretty good.
So is
but
he
the
not
middle
writing
ones-
anymore?
No, it is. It's just him.
Oh right.
So I'm wondering, but I think other people might have written some of the other episodes.
Right.
last-
Okay.
In the last season, I think. I don't know.
Because it's on Netflix now,
It's
isn't
on
it?
Netflix
Yeah.
now as well. Yeah.
And they've got some big names in it.
Yeah, there is like Jodie Foster directed one, and all of the guys in Starfleet. It was Meth Damon was in it, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's the last one I watched last night. The last one was very good.
Yeah.
It's good. And what have I been reading? X-Men Grand Design. Did anyone read that?
You sent me a link to it.
Yeah, it's very
What's it
good.
about? What's going on, Rob?
Well, basically, it's a truncated X-Men history of just all of them. Like, I can't really, this must be like the golden era, so it's the first like X-Men First Class.
Oh, yeah,
thing.
okay,
So it's
yeah,
Animal, Cyclops, Havoc, and all of that. But it's just really condensed story. Basically, there's 2 issues out so far, and he's covered about 30 years in 2 issues, basically,
Right,
and it's
okay,
just really short, sharp little stories, basically. And the Phoenix, like Dark Phoenix, is there, sort of like in
nice,
space
okay.
tracking Jean Grey and everything. It's really good.
I
Artwork's
sit
fantastic.
here beside myself that Rob is reading a Marvel comic.
I know this is it, but
know.
I'm only reading it because it was Ed Piskor, I think he's called. But he did a run ages ago called Hip Hop History, and it was oversized, like just the story of hip hop in comic form, and it was fantastic. And even it's the old paper in Grand Design.
okay,
It's like the old proper,
Oh, wow.
really sort of like yellowish sort of paper
Okay,
that
it's not
they
shiny
used
or
and
anything,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
really good. And it's like Volume 2's next year sometime, or this year. That's very good. And Mr. Miracle number 6 came out
You
yesterday,
love Mr. Miracle, don't
and
you?
it was fantastic.
You always go on
and
about Mr. Miracle. Tom King's
Is
run.
that going to be a
King.
12-issue run?
It
Mr.
is,
Miracle?
yeah. I think they're on a break now. I think there's going to be a little break because you've just got to the 6-issue mark, but it is fantastic.
Going back to the X-Men one, there's a podcast which I listened to quite a few episodes of called Explaining the X-Men. And it's great if you're interested in X-Men history. It's these 2 guys, it's a guy and a girl, so there's 2 people, and they literally just start with issue 1 and just talk you through the history of the X-Men. And it's not like 1 issue per episode. They chunk it up into story arcs and things, but it's really good. It's really interesting. And I can imagine the book you're reading is quite interesting in that same way. You know?
Comic Book Girl 19 did X-Men Epic Histories. She's done Volume 1 and Volume 2, I think, which talk about. But she loves the X-Men.
The
She
thing is, it
loves
shows
the X-Men.
like so. There are these. Each of us have come to the table now with a strong history lesson of the X-Men. There's so much content. Why do Fox keep fucking it up?
I don't know, because they don't understand the characters they own. They don't understand what they
There's
own.
so much rich history and so many stories and so many characters they could go from. And,
Actually, that's another comic book I read. Actually, it was called X-Men Season 1. I think that.
I've
might be the
read
one.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've not
yeah.
read it, so I'm aware of it. So yeah.
It wasn't spellbinding, but it was like the first class of
Yeah,
X-Men.
but they did that with loads of them, didn't they? They did Thor season 1, Doctor Strange
And they
season 1.
just sort of did. It was just like this is where they are. This is how they became the heroes you know today. And it was pretty good actually. Can't remember who wrote it or drew it, but artwork was good and the story was better than good. So yeah.
Right. Shall we move on to the topic?
Yeah, why not?
I better go.
You don't have to go.
You don't have to go if you don't want to.
You're going to go, aren't you?
I might eat my sandwich. What time have we on?
Yeah, we'll give this 10 minutes or so.
Okay, I'll hang around. And
Okay.
10 minutes or so.
Nerds.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So, Star Trek Discovery's back. In fact, what we'll do, Rob, is we'll tell you what happened and you'll
Go on,
just
then.
laugh at us.
I will.
So, you haven't watched any of Star Trek Discovery?
No.
Okay. Keep eating. It's
My
fine.
cheese is solidifying now.
Oh no.
So yeah, so Star Trek Discovery's back. There's going to be spoilers for everything that's come before and this episode. So if you haven't seen it, jump ahead to the end of the episode.
If you want to.
Yeah, why not?
Or come back later. Yeah, whatever.
So the end of the last part, so the first half of season 1, Discovery leaps into what they believe is an area of space they've not been to for a while or before, but actually it turns out they've leapt into a different universe. And
Yes.
Dum dum dum. It's the mirror universe where everyone is. The Terran Empire is the controlling force, and the Klingons and Vulcans, and basically anyone that isn't human is banding together to try to overthrow the humans.
Yeah, the Terran Empire are they're the bad guys basically. They're not the good and noble Federation.
No, exactly.
They're scumbags.
Everyone is the antithesis of the character that you had before. So
Yeah.
anyone that's sweet and nice turns out to be a horrible bastard. Anyone that's a horrible bastard turns out to be sweet and nice. And it was just great.
It was.
It was Star Trek through and through. It was everything I've wanted from the show. It was stupid and sci-fi and nonsense, but written so well, and the characters are so likable in it.
And a massive reveal in there as well.
Yeah, and there's a big. This is for you, Rob. This won't mean anything to you. early on in the first part of season 1 of Star Trek Discovery, there was a Klingon character called Vok, and he was like an albino Klingon, and so he was kind of shunned, but he was raised up by this spiritual leader to be the leader of the Klingon. Spiritual leader died. He was then the leader of these people, and then he was cast out by a more aggressive Klingon. And we hadn't
Called
seen
Cole.
him. We hadn't seen him for a while, and he'd partnered up with this female Klingon, and then he was there for like 2 episodes, and then suddenly just didn't see him again. And everyone's like, "Where the hell is Vok?" He was a major character. He was basically the major player, and there was this big thread left as he was like, "We will avenge them. We will take our revenge." And we haven't seen him for ages. And a couple of episodes after that, or even might have been that episode. No, it's a couple of episodes after that.
Yeah.
A human was found on board the Klingon ship, and he keeps having these PTSD episodes where you see flashes of this torture he had, this rape and torture from a female Klingon on him, and he's in the brig of this ship, and the members of the crew from Star Trek Discovery rescue him. He's in Starfleet uniform. He's a Starfleet officer. He's a lieutenant, security guy.
He becomes the head of security on the Discovery.
How? They just found some guy. Yeah, you're
It's
there.
war.
It's
They're in a period of war.
He was a lieutenant.
Oh, okay.
And so, but
I see.
because it's a period of war, and they need to restock their staff and stuff. He proves himself, and he becomes the head of security. And then,
Is
dun dun dun.
Is it Vok?
It's
Oh my god!
but it's the way I've explained it to you. But
Yeah.
so the
Well,
PTSD that he's
we don't know for
right?
definite. However,
But
something weird happens.
He has this weird moment where he goes to the brig and he sees the female Klingon, and she
What's
says
her
this.
name?
I can't remember her name. Laurel.
Yes.
Laurel, yeah. She says this chant to him, and he repeats it back to her. And there's this really weird, like, to camera moment where they're looking you in the eye. And
Yeah,
you're like, oh my god,
he's
what's going on?
sort of talking to her behind bars, and he opens like the force field, and they sort of have almost like an embrace, but not. And he's his head's tipped to the side. But he's like, "What did you do to me? I don't know what's going on." And then she sort of suddenly just says, "Who do we follow?" And he just sort of bolt upright goes, or whoever it is, Kalis, and he says it in like
Klingon.
in like the Klingon sort of accent and like the drawl they've got.
But then he sort of snaps out of it, and you're like, what's going on? And then he goes to the doctor, and the doctor's like, needs to do extra tests on you. And he's saying, in your torture, it looks like they've compounded your muscles and bones, and like they've twisted you and changed the scar tissue all over you. And the doctor's like, I've been scanning your brain engrams, and it looks like they might have like imprinted a personality on top of your one. And he's like, oh, what does that mean? And then obviously there's the reveal in everyone's like, holy shit, he's a Klingon. And like I like yelled out loud. I don't ever do that with TV. I was like, oh my god, it's Vok! Ah! Like the Italian next to me like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What's going on? And then poor doctor, because he doesn't want to be revealed, and he's not sure if it is the case or not, he just grabs the doctor and snaps his neck. Like, and this is the doctor who you've been feeling emotion for because his boyfriend is currently incapacitated, and there's a bill. Yeah,
and the doctor's boyfriend is the head of engineering
yeah,
as well.
it's
no.
yeah,
I know, right?
And the next snap as well. I was like, oh my god! Like I was so into this episode.
What episode is this? What
10,
number?
I
10.
think,
Okay,
yeah.
so
Is it
they've
10?
gone quite
Yeah,
far.
I think so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think there's
So
like
like
6
yesterday it
episodes
was-
left of this season.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds quite interesting.
It
I'm
is
intrigued.
really interesting, and the fact that they've done this, also this lieutenant who is Vok, I think he's gone so deep as a sleeper agent that he thinks he is human, and he's in love with the main character, and they've just formed a intimate bond, shall we say? They had sex.
Okay.
Giggity.
But she is responsible for the war starting. So he's obviously been implanted there to get to her. Oh man, it was so good.
It had many layers, this episode. It was. I enjoyed Disco, the first part of the first season. There are a couple of really outstanding episodes, but this one is the best of the lot so far. It was absolutely, and I think there's only 5 or 6 episodes left now.
Something like that, yeah,
And it honestly, it is set up for a absolutely monumental ending. And bearing in mind at the moment, obviously they're in this mirror universe. The Klingons aren't really a threat to the Terran
Empire.
That's it. Thank you, beg your pardon. And they've made some moves to try and get themselves home, because whatever's happened when the Discovery landed in that universe, its mirror version may have been transported to the normal Star Trek Federation universe. However, I'm still not convinced that's the normal Star Trek Federation universe.
No, I'm not sure
So
either.
it's like an evil leaper sort of thing.
I actually
Yeah.
think that possibly the season may end with them jumping back
And being like,
and
what
being
have you done?
in another different
I
universe.
think it might be Quantum Leap. I think the rest of the series.
I mean, we could be
They
completely
jump
wrong.
back, the universe is destroyed, and they're like, you did this. I like
Maybe,
it.
yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
But it could have
Seen it. I don't know what I'm
but
talking
it's so
about.
interesting.
It could also answer the question: why have we not heard of the discovery before?
Yeah.
Because it vanished and it never came back.
There,
There you go.
it's so well written. I think that's one of the long thread there is so well written. One of the issues early on with this was people were saying like, but it's not canon. It looks different, and
too advanced.
I'm not sure. But what I like that they've done is if you stick with it, they started to explain that in very natural ways, where you go, all right, it's different. It is different, and that's okay, you know. Yeah. So all I really want to do is just rant about how much I loved it.
It was a bloody great episode. It really was.
A little bit annoyed with the engineer.
Oh yeah. What have you written down here?
Deus Ex Engineer.
Deus Ex Engineer.
Because he's modified himself. It doesn't matter. If you watch it, you understand
Sci-fi.
it. Yeah,
Sci-fi.
So that his body can make the engine work, because it's this new special engine that jumps between universes and things, right?
Right.
But the last time it happened, it drained him so much that he's now in a coma and he's got white eyes and he's just rambling. He's just going blah, 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 laying there doing nothing and
saying weird things.
Yeah. But then just before the doctor gets killed, his boyfriend, his eyes go normal and he looks up and goes, the enemy is with us. Like, all right, okay.
So the ship knows.
Yeah, exactly. So he's glazed, and then he glazes back over and lays down. And you're like, all right, he knows everything. Like, what is he, everywhere at all times? I don't know. There was just...
there's something weird going on with the Doctor, isn't there? Because he has.
the
engineer. He's got the ability to move the ship through like these spaces, veins, basically. So they're not moving through space. They're moving through the veins of space. So that's why they can disappear one place and reappear somewhere else. But whatever he's done, whilst he started doing that, there seemed to be like a delayed version of him, didn't there? So he was looking in the mirror once, and he turned around to talk to his boyfriend, but the mirror was still looking straight at him.
That's great.
So there's something weird going on with this guy.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's dark. It's Star Trek for the modern age, and I really like it. It's really good.
Yeah.
I really want a uniform, and I know I'd never wear one, but I really want it just to prance around the house in.
Oh my God! It's got piping on it. It's New 52 Star Trek uniform.
Yeah. On there.
I'll tell you what it is. It's Star Trek for people who like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That's what it is, because it's Star Trek, but it's got an underlying plot going through, which is the main what's going on, why is this here, why is all this happening, and then explain it.
Is there still like story of the week sort of
Yes,
thing?
Yeah, but it's...
This story this week didn't wrap up at the end of the episode. It ended with the
it's
captain in like a torture chamber, which looked
I was
terrifying.
going to say, Jason Isaacs is the captain, but he's not the main character.
Okay.
But he is knocking it out of the park. He is so
I
good.
thought it was
great.
the woman from Walking Dead.
Yeah, she's the main character.
She's the main character.
She's not the captain.
But she's not the captain.
No, in fact, she
Okay.
isn't of any rank. In the first episodes...
She's the first
spoilers,
officer.
She's the first officer of a spaceship, and she's the reason the war starts.
Right.
So she's a war criminal.
Yeah.
But on her way to being transported from one prison to another, the Discovery grabs hold of her and says, we need your help. And so she's sort of serving as a...
Specialist. She's called
not
Specialist
part
Burnham.
Okay.
So that's our way into the story, because she's not part of the crew, but she is part of the crew.
I like Jason Isaacs.
Jason Isaacs is great. He is super knocking it out of the park with this show. I love him in it. I wish there was more of him in it, but I like that he's not the main character. Do you know what I mean? I like that he's the captain off to the side.
Yes. Yeah.
He's great.
It's brilliant.
It's really good.
Absolutely brilliant.
Where do we go from here, Ben? What happens in the next episode?
Well,
Cliffhanger.
I hope they don't wrap up this evil universe, mirror universe, in the next episode. I hope they
do.
prolong it a little bit.
I agree, but I bet they do.
But yeah, they probably will. But it's who knows, man? It's all going to be. There'll be the reveal, won't there? Eventually, that whoever I forget what the character name is, but he's actually Vok.
Yeah.
And that will then with L'Oreal sort of saying, this is who you are, and you're actually in love with this person, but you should be killing Michael Burnham. And
oh yeah, the main character's called Michael, even though it's a woman.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
Okay.
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi, yeah.
Sci-fi, advanced future.
Do you want to know the next episode titles?
Sure.
The next one is called The Wolf Inside.
Well, there you go. That's obviously Vok. Yeah.
Vaulting Ambition.
Weird.
What's Past is Prologue.
Okay, yeah.
Interesting. The War Without, The War Within. And Will You Take My Hand?
Yes, I will.
Okay. So yeah, that was it. I literally just wanted to have a good old rant about how much I love Star Trek Discovery. So.
This episode was fantastic, and it was directed by Jonathan Frakes.
Yeah, Jonathan Frakes.
Riker himself.
Yeah.
There you go.
The Riker maneuver.
And
What is the Riker maneuver?
It's when you grab hold of the joystick and steer the ship, exporting
what?
explosive gas from the nacelles so that you blow up the
Right.
Baku. No.
I thought the Riker maneuver was where he sort of vaults over a chair
Yeah,
every
but
time he
it's
sits down.
it's in Star Trek Insurrection where they go
okay.
inside the briar patch and he goes, give me manual control, and the column comes up and he's got a joystick and he steers the Enterprise E around and they collect up this. This is great. This is how sci-fi nerd I am, right? Okay, so they collect up all this explosive gas from the in the ram scoops at the front of the nacelles.
And they vent it from the nacelles.
Then they vent it from the nacelles in front of the. They're not the Baku. Who are they? No. What are they? The Baku are on the planet.
Oh God.
Oh God!
Oh God.
They vent it and then they fire a torpedo at it and
F. Murray
explodes it.
Abraham is the leader of them.
And
Murray
Geordie
Abraham.
LaForge says, I wouldn't be surprised if we survive this if they call it the Riker maneuver.
Yeah. There you go.
It's the dumbest thing.
Sounded like a sex move.
Exactly, yeah. But do you know?
Just
know-
move for your drink. I call it the Riker maneuver.
Do you know about the Riker maneuver? The joke. He
I have
steps over
seen this thing
chairs.
of the
Yeah,
stepping
he
over
steps
chairs.
yeah,
What they're saying. Okay. Got
Anyway,
ya.
good. Same
You got
Ben.
geeked out there.
Yeah,
Well
we
done,
did.
well done.
Why can't I find the name of that alien species?
Because you're supposed to be telling the audience where they can find us if they want to get in touch with us and tell us what idiots we are.
Oh, they can find us on Instagram and
This is
YouTube,
how I did it
and
last week, yeah,
Facebook
YouTube,
and Twitter.
Google it, it's fine.
It's all those things. So facebook.com/nerdschatting or twitter.com/nerdschatting, or just search for #nerdschatting and you'll find us.
The sonar.
The sonar! God for that. Jesus, I was going to go nuts.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. Next week we're going to do something which we haven't decided upon yet.
Yeah. We'll try and get Bobby Diamonds back again because he's always welcome.
What's happening next week? What is happening? Is there anything out?
Well,
Anything
maybe
happening?
we'll talk about free billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, because I want to watch that this
Yeah,
weekend.
it's at the Picture House.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I got a view voucher for Christmas. I'll probably use
I
that.
don't know if it's on that.
The only things we've got in the calendar, right? We need to add to this, but the only things we've got is Altered Carbon episode 1 is out on the 5th of February.
Okay, good.
Then the week commencing 12th of February, we've got Black Panther review. And then in March, the next thing after that is Jessica Jones season 2. So that's all we've got in the calendar at the moment. We need to fill it up.
Hey, maybe we could watch. Punisher.
Nope.
Okay.
Right. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. I've been Nate. This has been Ben, and this has been Rob.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.